For this video, we're going to focus exclusively on the Customers module. This is typically the first thing you'll want to be doing in Syncro. So here we're looking at a list of active customers. Let's go ahead and drill into one so you can see what a customer record looks like. So with Syncro, it's important to understand that everything we offer both on the PSA side and on the RMM side are handled from a single interface. There aren't any wonky integrations, multiple interfaces, or multiple logins you'll have to contend with. So everything you'll ever need can be found right here on the customer record. The first thing you'll find is an overview of your customer at a glance. Here you can see any unpaid balances your customer currently holds with you, credits, and the total amount you've invoiced over the life of the customer. You can also take payments for this customer right from within the customer record. Below that, you can quickly see how many tickets have been serviced over the life of the customer, as well as how many currently remain open. Below that, you have your general contact information like phone numbers and street addresses. This is also where you can see where this customer originated. Was it another customer, or perhaps a previous marketing campaign? In this example, this customer was captured through a USPS Every Door direct mail campaign. There is also a link here to this specific customer's portal. This is how you'd log in to verify the customer is seeing exactly what you want them to based on their assigned portal permissions. The customer portal is beyond the scope of this video, but we do have an entire video dedicated just to that feature. Continuing down, you'll find a list of upcoming appointments and reminders for your customer. You'll find any customer-specific documentation you've created here as well. Documentation is similar to a wiki article and can be assigned as an internal document, meaning for you and your staff's eyes only, to the customer portal, meaning it's available when the customer logs into their portal, and you'll also have the option of making a document available across every customer's portal if you wanted to. There's a section for customer-specific notes, and lastly, any customer-specific file attachments can be uploaded and attached directly to the customer record. Now moving on to the other half of the page, this is where you'll find all of this customer's associated records. Here you can see things like the most recent tickets, estimates, and invoices. Displayed records can be quickly and easily drilled into as well. Continuing down the page, you'll find any contracts which this customer is associated with, their assets, most recent payments, their portal users, and their purchases. Lastly, if your customer operates out of multiple locations, you can enter those here. And a quick note on contracts, while we do have a video exclusive to this feature, I'll just quickly mention that this is where you'd configure things like customer-specific product and labor pricing, as well as block hour and all-you-can-eat style contracts. We also offer full support for automatically refreshing allotments of hours on a recurring basis, so no matter how you bill your customers, we've got you covered. The only subsection you won't see here initially is your customer's stored payment information. You won't see this until you've fully enabled one of our integrated payment processors. Once you've done that, you can securely store your customer's credit card profiles and use them to bill against individual invoices, and even take payment automatically on recurring invoices. Every subsection has this little New button here, which allows you to quickly create a new associated record of that specific type. You can also do that from the top, here, which allows you to create any record type while automatically associating it with this customer. Now when you edit the customer record, this is effectively what you'll see if you were creating a new customer as well. The top half includes all of the contact basics like email, phone, and address. You can include as many phone numbers as you like, and if your customer works on multiple locations, you can track that here as well. We touched on the Referred By field here, and the items in this dropdown are fully customizable in your admin settings. The bottom half here is a little more specific. One of the first things you'll want to do before you go and create or import a bunch of customers is head over to the tax rate section in the admin settings. Here you can define as many custom sales tax rates as you need, depending on which counties or states your customers reside in. If you happen to have nonprofit customers, you can flag the customer record as being tax-free. This is also where you'd add a credit to the customer if you ever had to fully or partially refund something which was already paid back in the form of a credit. Over on the right-hand side, you can opt to enable SMS services for this specific customer. This will send SMS confirmations to the customer when they open a ticket or when your texts respond to their tickets. They can even respond to those text messages to have their responses automatically added to the ticket. Pretty cool. We include 200 SMS messages free each month, and you can add on additional SMS credits as necessary, or you can integrate your own SMS support via our flow route integration. The next option revolves around Syncro's full-blown mailer module, which allows you to segment customers based on any number of criteria and set up marketing campaigns to target them. This checkbox here will opt the customer out of any of those campaigns. No email of any kind takes that a step further by blocking any Syncro-initiated email communications from being sent to this customer, ever. Now, sometimes a company owner may want to be in the loop on system-wide communications, but there may be an operations manager or a technical lead that more commonly responds to most things. Here you can assign any number of additional email addresses to receive system-wide communications from within Syncro. You can also do the same thing for invoices, where you can CC any number of people that may be responsible for paying invoices other than the company's owner. Lastly, you'll set up the default invoice terms for this customer. These are also fully customizable, so you can provide as many unique payment terms for your customer as you see fit. Our payment terms aren't just the usual 15 or 30-day terms. You can create advanced payment terms that say all invoices are due on X date of each month. You can automatically have invoices apply a late fee after a customizable amount of time goes by, and you can even set whether you want the late fee to be a customizable percentage of the invoice or some other flat fee. One of the things that's important to realize right out of the gate with Syncro is that virtually every aspect of our software is fully customizable. The last thing I'd like to show you on this page is the Actions menu here. This is where you can delete a customer, or you can also merge the customer with another customer. This is useful if a company is bought out and you want to retain your old customers' records while simultaneously combining them with the new customer. For those of you that utilize label printing, we make that easy for you by automatically generating both customer labels and address labels here. The customer labels even come with a barcode that can be scanned with the Syncro mobile app, allowing you to bring up the customer record instantly without having to manually search for it. We've also included some useful tabs here across the top, and we're going to skip around a bit here as I show them to you. The first one, Communication, details every incoming and outgoing communication that was logged between you and your customer. Many things are logged automatically, like the responses to tickets and invoices sent to the customer that you see here, and you can also manually log phone calls and visits and have them recorded here as well. The History tab is effectively an audit log, so you can see any change that was made to the customer record, who physically changed it, and what it was that was specifically changed. Credentials is a secure area to store any number of usernames and passwords for this specific customer. You can even make the credentials public, which allows your client to see that specific set of credentials in their own customer portal. Now, I'm sure you may be asking yourself if it's possible to protect this information so that only you can see it while making it unavailable to your staff. The answer there is yes, making this a good time to mention our user rights functionality. This is handled in the admin settings under security groups, and you can define as many groups as you like and assign them to your staff as you see fit. We expose a huge array of settings for you to customize, totaling just shy of 200. For the customer credentials specifically, we give you the ability to set whether or not your staff can delete credentials, edit them, create them, or view them at all. I'd also like to mention that this same functionality is available for customers utilizing our customer portal feature. So if you have one contact that only needs to view invoices, while another only needs to oversee support tickets, that's completely possible within Syncro. Lastly, we have our Contacts tab. This is where you can add any additional staff employed by your customer. Contacts aren't just here for reference, they are fully present throughout our platform. For instance, you can assign specific contacts to assets, and you can assign specific contacts to tickets as well. And on top of having credentials available for the customer as a whole, we've also added the ability to add contact-specific credentials down below here. Now, it's quite possible that you may need to store information beyond what we provided by default, so we allow you to create any number of custom fields. We allow for two differing sets of custom fields, one set specifically for customers and another specific to contacts. We have a full array of custom field types, and we even have this unique one here, called Pop-Up, which allows the text contained within that field to pop up every time you enter the customer record. This is great for alerting your staff of something they need to be made aware of specific to this customer that they might not otherwise see in a static notes field. Perhaps this customer was late to pay and your staff needs to know so they don't perform any additional services until the account is brought up to date. Custom fields appear here in a new subsection at the top of the customer record. Contact custom fields appear here below the primary contact fields. There may be times you need to segment your list of customers, so we allow for that with our saved customer search that's located in the flyout over here to the left. You can filter your customer list by any number of custom criteria, and once saved, you can recall that list with the click of a button. You also have the ability to export customers belonging to your saved searches to a CSV file at any time. Finally, for those of you that are migrating to Syncro from another RMM platform, we give you the ability to bulk import customers. You can do that in the admin settings under the Customers heading in the Customer Import section. We also offer full importers for many RMM platforms that also includes pulling assets over as well. If you're interested in utilizing one of these, please contact our support team at help@syncromsp.com. So that's our Customers module, and remember, if you ever need assistance with anything customer related, you can visit the Help link here, which contains hundreds of KB articles on anything and everything Syncro.